Hello and welcome to the webinar. My name is Richard Botry. I head the trade promotion team here at UKTI. We're based in the British Embassy in Tokyo and also the Consulate General in Osaka. And it's my pleasure to welcome you today. We're going to be talking about selling in Japan through Amazon. So first of all, I want to extend my thanks to three speakers that we have in today. So to my left, we've got Agari-san.
Hello.
Thanks so much for coming. And off camera and off mic, just at the moment, we also have Kuroda-san and Matsubushi-san. So we're going to do a sort of three-way handover and have a comprehensive presentation on how do you sell through Amazon in Japan. So, what do I need to say about Amazon? Almost nothing. But let me just add a little bit of flavor on top of what you understand about the UK version of Amazon. In Japan, it is fantastically popular. I can say that I have given these guys probably hundreds of thousands of yen over the last several years in sales, and in particular the logistics train in Japan I think is really noteworthy. So if you're a Prime customer, it is possible to order something at literally 1 o'clock in the morning and have it delivered the same day in Japan, which is fantastic from that client experience point of view. Okay. Just before we start, a couple of practical points. You can ask a question at any time. If you look on the box on the right-hand side, type in there, it'll get radioed through to the iPad in front of me, and we're going to deal with them at the end of the presentation. In the unlikely event you have any technical difficulties, then just send us an email at info@exporttojapan.co.uk. Okay, I hope we're all ready. I think we've got a lot of people listening. Agari-san, a lot of interest in Amazon.
That's great.
How do we sell in Japan? Tell us.
Great. Well, thank you, Richard, and good morning, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to attend our webinar explaining how Amazon can help you expand your business in Japan. Again, I'm Ichiro Agari. I'm the Senior Marketing Manager in Seller Services in Amazon Japan. And today I'm joined by my colleague, Junichi Kuroda, who is our Senior Product Manager for Amazon Global Selling. And he will be speaking during the second half of our webinar. And finally, we have Yuya Matsubushi here with us. He is our Global Selling Sales Manager. And he is here to take any questions you may have at the end of our presentation. Okay, I think most of you are familiar with Amazon, but let me give you a really brief introduction. Our company was founded in 1995 by our founder and CEO, Jeff Bezos. We are a US-based company headquartered in Seattle in the state of Washington. We started out selling books, and what you see here is our original website of about 20 years ago. As you can see, it was a pretty simple website, but we evolved over the years into what you see now by expanding our selection to include categories such as DVDs, electronics, groceries, and toys, and fashion. Our mission since day one has been very simple. It is to be the Earth's most customer-centric company. This has been at the core of everything we do, and it is always the most important thing we have on our minds. We always start with our customers and work backwards. This is to ensure that we are always serving our customers with the level of service, features, and products that our customers want and expect from Amazon. Also, our definition of customer is very broad. So, for example, in this case, we at Seller Services view our sellers as customers as well to ensure that we are providing the best selling experience for our valuable sellers. Amazon COJP was launched in the year 2000, which is just a couple of years after the launch of Amazon CO UK. And just like Amazon.com in the US or Amazon.co.uk, we also started with books. In the past 15 years or so, we expanded into various other categories such as electronics and fashion, food and beverages, musical instruments, and actually even used cars. And as we increased selection, traffic or customers to Amazon.co.jp also increased. And we started to offer digital content in Kindle, which was released 3 years ago. And also customers using our website using mobile devices has drastically increased in the past several years. Oops. I'm sorry. Based on 2013 data released by the Japanese Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, Amazon.co.jp exists in a 11.2 trillion JPY e-commerce market, which is roughly about 6.7 billion British pounds. We experienced a 17.4% increase in this market in 2013, and we expect this market to further expand in the coming years. And many overseas businesses that have expanded into this attractive market has really experienced a lot of success. So why should you work with us to expand your business in Japan? First, Amazon COJP has grown into one of the largest e-commerce sites in Japan. According to stats released from Nielsen, Amazon COJP receives about 20 million unique visitors per month to our PC website, and another 25 million unique visitors to our mobile website. These millions of customers visit our website to search through our vast selection, which we currently have over 100 million. And by choosing to sell your products on Amazon COJP, you'll have the opportunity to get your products in front of all of these customers that visit our website. Also, Amazon COJP has become a trusted brand and company in Japan. In a Japanese customer satisfaction index released by the Association for Service Productivity and Innovation for Growth, Amazon COJP ranked number 1 in the e-commerce category. So by choosing to sell your products on Amazon COJP, you will have the opportunity to associate yourself and your products with a trusted leader. However, as you probably know, doing business in a foreign country is not always easy. You need to think about many things such as language translation, finding business partners, and how to deliver products to customers halfway around the world, and also how to market products in a different country. So there are many things to consider. We have solutions that can help you with many of these items, or we can also help you find service providers that can help you expand your business in Japan. I think you may find selling in Japan through Amazon to be easier than you think. We currently offer 3 services to our sellers: selling on Amazon, fulfillment by Amazon, and sponsored products. Let's first talk about selling on Amazon. Amazon's selection consists of products that our retail team buys and sells to customers, and also products that sellers offer on Amazon COJP. We currently have over 167,000 sellers on Amazon COJP, and the selection from these valuable sellers greatly outnumber the selection offered by the retail team. We think this is a great opportunity for you to list your unique UK products on Amazon COJP and put the selection in front of our Japanese customers. This will allow our customers to find products that are not available elsewhere in Japan. And we'll show you some popular UK products a little later on in our presentation. Also, it's easy to sell on Amazon COJP as you don't need to establish a corporate entity in Japan or work through an intermediary to sell your products on Amazon COJP. We provide 2 simple ways to list your items on Amazon COJP. Some of you may already sell on Amazon COUK, so you may be a little familiar, but you can list your items one at a time, or you can use our book listing feature to list tens of thousands of products at once. Once you list your products on Amazon, your products are treated the same way as other products on Amazon. We will help drive traffic to your products from outside of Amazon by including them into campaigns such as our paid search campaigns. Your products may also get included into customized emails to customers, which are based on our customers' purchasing and viewing behavior. Your products may also be featured in personalized product recommendations within Amazon as well. We'll also talk about sponsored products in the second half of our webinar, which is an advertising tool you can use to drive customers to your products. And finally, you can choose to use Fulfillment by Amazon, where you can store your inventory in our fulfillment center and have us pick, pack, and ship your products when an order is received. We'll also come back to this a little later in our webinar as well. One question we often get is, how do I get paid? How do I receive payment from the sales I make? You can choose to open a bank account in Japan, but it may be more convenient for you to use Amazon Currency Converter for sellers. which is an optional service that allows Amazon sellers to receive the proceeds of their earnings into their local bank account if that account is located in a different country from the marketplace on which they are selling. So in your case, you can use your UK British Pound bank account to receive your payments from Amazon COJP. Now let me hand off to my colleague Jun. He will talk about our fulfillment and advertising services, as well as some important information for our overseas sellers.
Thanks so much, Agari-san. So just while we're making the transition between the two speakers, I wanted to thank for two live questions. There's one around packaging and translation, thank you, and also one about selling books on the marketplace. So we'll try and deal with those during the Q&A session shortly. Thank you. Okay, Kuroda-san, over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Hello everyone, and again, thank you for joining our webinar today. By now, I hope that you understand what selling on Amazon is like, but you may be still wondering, okay, how am I going to fulfill orders from Japan customers? You have two fulfillment options. First option is that after you receive an order, you can pick a product from your warehouse or store, and you pack it and send it to the customer in Japan. You can send it through Royal Mail, DHL, FedEx, or any carrier of your choice. The second option is that you can use what we call Fulfillment by Amazon, or FBA. FBA is a very powerful fulfillment solution we provide to sellers. And this is how FBA works. All you need to do is to decide which products you want Amazon to fulfill on behalf of you, and send your inventory to our fulfillment centers in Japan. After we receive your inventories at our fulfillment center, your items become available for sales on amazon.co.jp. When the customer places an order, then we pick, pack, and deliver your items to the customer. Even when the customer has a question like, when is my item going to arrive? Or, I want to return the item, what should I do? You don't have to do anything because our customer support takes care of them. We also take care of customer returns for you. There are many benefits that FBA provides, but I would like to highlight these 2 points here. First of all, FBA gives you more sales because it gives customers faster delivery service compared to, in your case, you ship from UK. It is much faster, and in fact, it's usually the same day or next day. By the way, customers in Japan usually expect fast delivery. Also, items fulfilled by Amazon are preferred by our Amazon Prime customers. Prime customers are those who pay annual membership fee for fast delivery, who purchase it very often on Amazon, and they prefer the items fulfilled by Amazon. So access to these customers is a great benefit for you. In fact, our survey last year showed that 86% of FBA sellers saw an increase in their sales with FBA. FBA also makes customers feel as if you are running your business in Japan. As I said earlier, it gives you the fast local delivery to customers even while you are sitting in UK. And also, we handle post-sales customer inquiries in Japanese and customer returns, so you don't have to worry about handling them in Japanese. One of the questions we often get from sellers is, how am I going to market my products? Or, my products are not well known to customers in Japan, and they may find it difficult to find my items. We have a solution for that, and we call it sponsored products. Sponsored product is a service that allows sellers to advertise their products on amazon.co.jp. It's just like Google AdWords, if you are familiar with it, and this is how it works. You purchase keywords that are relevant to your products. For example, as a customer, I search for iPhone 6 case on Amazon COJP. I have over 580,000 results, and the list goes to 400 pages. Customers are very unlikely to go through 400 pages to find your products. But if you look at the bottom of these search results, there are 3 items that are exposed to me through sponsored products. And if we take a closer look, in this case, 2 of them happen to be UK brand called Snug. And this seller must have purchased a keyword iPhone 6, and therefore his products are advertised to me here. Some of you may feel that advertisement is very difficult and costly. No, it is not. Sponsored products let you buy keywords as low as 2 Japanese yen, which is about 1 pence. It is pay-per-click model, meaning that even if your items get displayed, but if no one clicks, then it does not cost you. It only costs you when someone clicks your ad. Also, I believe this is very powerful for non-Japanese speaking sellers that we have auto-targeting mode in sponsored products. In this auto mode, Amazon matches search keywords and your items based on how relevant they are and advertises your products automatically. You can of course set your budget limit, and also you can later change some keywords to manual mode, and you have more control over the advertisement. So we went through what selling on Amazon is like, what our fulfillment services is like, and advertisement services we have. But you may be still wondering, is it really easy for international, non-Japanese speaking sellers? And here are some resources that we have for you. We have a resource website in English that you can look for information on selling on Amazon, and it provides all the information you need to start selling. The site has introductory page and how to sell step-by-step guide, information on FBA, pricing, legal regulations, prohibited items, FAQ, and you are also welcome to contact us if you have any questions before you start selling. By the way, if you press this register to sell button, register to sell on Amazon button, you can start the registration process to start selling. Registration is very easy and it's done in a self-service manner. So if you fill out the registration form, and you can actually start selling on the same day. It's that easy and quick. I also want to comment that unfortunately, as of today, we are unable to handle everything that you need when you sell globally. For example, we do not currently offer translation service or tax advice or transportation service. Therefore, we have talked to third-party service providers who can help you with these areas. So if you are unsure of where to start or who to contact with regard to translation or tax advice, for example, then you can always start with our list. And the list is available on our English resource site. Once you start selling, you'll be using our tool called Seller Central. You use Seller Central to manage what items to sell, price of items, inventory, FBA, sponsored products, reporting, etc., etc. User interface and help contents of Seller Central currently supports both Japanese and English. And by the way, our seller support can handle questions in English as well. Now let's look at very, very small sample of popular items from UK sellers. I'm not going to go through each one of these, but I would like to highlight that there are many famous UK brands such as Burberry, Filofax, and they are very, very popular here in Japan. But there are also many smaller brands or generic brands that do very well in Japan. And they do very well in Japan from many categories like fashion, office, stationery, electronics, jewelry, bags, grocery, etc., etc. Now let's look at the pricing. Our pricing is very simple, and the minimum fee is very low, and therefore you don't have to take so much risk in starting online business. You pay monthly subscription fee of 4,900 yen. Other than that, if you sell your items, then depending on the category that your item belongs to, for non-media products such as electronics, fashion, we charge you the referral fee based on the item price plus shipping fee. And the referral fee ranges from 8% to 20%, depending on the category. If you use FBA, we charge you for storage fee and fulfillment fee. Storage fee is calculated based on the size of your item and how long it sits in our fulfillment center. It is about 8 yen for 10 cubic centimeters. If it's small, then the storage fee is small. You can start FBA from only 1 unit. You have no obligation to send us a minimum quantity. And we charge you when your item gets shipped from our fulfillment center. The fee depends on the category of item and the size and weight of item. Let's look at some examples. An iPhone case from Snug is sold for 1,495 yen, and it's shipped from FBA. For this item in electronics, we charge the seller for 10% of the item price, 150 yen. And if this item sits in our fulfillment center for a month, we would charge the seller 2 yen for storage and 319 yen for shipping. Storage fee is so small because this item is very small. Another example, an apron for gardening. This item is merchant fulfilled and it's not FBA. It is sold for 4,880 yen, and the seller also charges customers for the shipping fee of 830 yen, which in total is 5,710 yen. The item belongs to DIY category, and we charge 15% of the item plus shipping fee, so that is 857 yen. We hope that this session was very fruitful for you, and we hope you feel that selling in Japan through Amazon will give you a great business opportunity. Selling on Amazon is very easy, and we have fulfillment and advertisement solution as well. And if you'd like more information, you can always visit this English resource site. It's services.amazon.co.jp, and on the site you can register yourself and start selling very easily. We also have 3-month subscription fee period now, so now is the best time for you to start. Okay, so now we are open to questions.
Thanks so much, Kuro-san, and I'm going to invite your colleague now, Matsubushi-san, to join me in front of the cameras. I'm delighted to say that the question stream has gone absolutely crazy. We've got a lot of questions that have come in, and in fact some ahead of the webinar as well. So I'm going to try and do my best to get through as much as we can, but do appreciate that there may not be time to answer absolutely everybody's questions. Just in regard to regulatory or tax-related questions, I can see that there's quite a few people asking specific questions about their product and how it can be imported in Japan. What are the specific issues? We're not going to be able to address those questions in the scope of this particular webinar because obviously that's not part of Amazon's role. However, I do encourage you, if you look on the Export to Japan web pages, under the retail section, you'll see my colleague Akiko Yanagisawa. And if you click there, you're actually able to send those questions directly to us at UKTI, and we'll be very happy to help. Or alternatively, you can contact the partner services that were described earlier, of people who work with Amazon to get more specific information. So we do want to help, but we won't be able to answer all of those today. Okay, here we are. If by magic you've appeared, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Really appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you. So there are a lot of questions, but
Okay.
let me try and pick up the most popular ones. The first is really about translation. What translation is needed, and what do companies need to do?
Well, basically, when you sell your product in Japan, most of the customers are Japanese, right? So you need to translate the item information into Japanese. That's must things. Also, I think you may get some contact from the Japanese customers, and in that case, most of the Japanese customers is going to ask you question in Japanese. So when you handle that, you're going to have to also reply to them in Japanese.
Right. So we're not talking about machine translation here, and you're also saying that in terms of customer service, there needs to be a Japanese language component for sellers.
Right, that's correct.
Right. Okay.
Because machine translation does not really make sense for Japanese people.
Right.
So, but I think most of the people in the UK,
Right.
they don't speak Japanese.
Right.
So in that case, as Jun and Ichiro mentioned,
Right.
we do have our service providers which can support those translation
Yep.
and customer support.
Yep. Right.
So yeah, we can send you over those links so that you can access later on.
That'd be great. Thank you so much. And actually, somebody did ask the question, will the content of this webinar be available at the end? And it will. And any links, as you just referred to, we'll make sure they're in there as well. Thank you. We talked about the cost to expect, so the fulfilled by Amazon and so on, some very clear examples. Are there any unexpected costs when it comes to exporting to Japan that we should be talking about?
Right. I think as I just mentioned, I think those translation and customer support,
Right.
as if you don't have a Japanese bilingual staff,
Yep.
I think those are, well, it might not be unexpected, but
Yep.
those are the costs.
Yep.
They have to really invest
Right.
for them to sell
Yes.
in Japan.
So they're the things to concentrate on.
Right.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk a little bit about fulfillment. It was very clear about holding things in your warehouse here in Japan. There's a question around, can fulfillment work out of Amazon UK and then shipping to Japan? Is that an option for people?
Well, even though I think I assume some of the people, they might use Amazon UK.
Right.
However, between Amazon FBA warehouse and FBA Japan warehouse is not connected.
Right.
So as if they're gonna use Japanese FBA,
Yep.
FBA in Japan,
Yeah.
they're gonna have to ship over their products directly into Japanese warehouse.
Right. Okay. So there's no pipeline between one Amazon warehouse
No, we
and
don't have them.
Yep.
That's right.
Makes sense. Thank you. We didn't talk too much about the preferred methods of payment in Japan, and I know from experience they're sometimes a little bit different from other countries. I wonder if you could just talk around that, and also, is there a different profile according to levels of disposable income?
I don't think it's a different depends on level of the disposable income.
Right.
I'd say most of the our customer has been using credit card.
Yes.
Plus we do have an option. It's called cash on delivery.
Yes.
So, but I don't think it's going to be available for UK sellers.
Right.
So I would say in Japan, credit card is the most popular
Yep.
payment method.
Yep. Yeah. So in that sense, nothing to worry about.
Right.
It's very familiar. Thank you. Okay, let me switch to a few questions that I've got in from the live stream, if I may. We talked about translation on the website itself. There are a few questions around translation of other aspects, like the packaging of the product and so on. Would your advice be the same? That's going to work with one of those other service providers?
Right. Under our service provider list, they have a company
Yep.
which can support those packaging translation too.
Right.
So I would highly recommend you can check. I mean, contact with those providers,
Right.
and then you can choose whomever you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I'll make a comment from a UKTI perspective and not an Amazon one, is that we do feel like localization of product is often quite important. But if you want to learn more about that, again, do contact Akiko through the website and she can give you some more advice. Okay. We mentioned customer service being important in Japanese. There's a question from a listener who has, I don't know exactly what the product is, but said that the customer service required might be a little bit more advanced, so there may be some use cases or descriptions required. Is there anything for them to think about? For example, people misusing the product, trying to explain how it works. Are we back to, speaking to a provider that you work with? Is that the best? The keywords, I think people would be interested in those sponsored links, especially as the fact that it's kind of no win, no fee. That sounds like an attractive model. Do those keywords have to be in Japanese? Do you have some English keywords?
Well, for most of the products, Japanese might be the best word.
Right.
However, for like books,
Yep.
some foreign sellers, sell books. They can list up books in English.
Right.
That's a kind of exception.
Right.
I mean, special case.
Yep.
In that case, I think they can use the English. But other than that, I would
Yep.
say they should use the Japanese.
Yep.
So that their product can be matched
Right.
with
For
Japanese. Excuse me.
for Japanese people.
For Japanese people.
Makes perfect sense.
Excuse me.
Can we talk a little bit about your digital offering? Because obviously in the UK, people will be very familiar with, Kindle content, streaming movies, and so forth. There was a question around interactive magazines, for example, which I think are available in the UK. How does all of that work in Japan?
At this time, excuse me. Unfortunately, we don't have digital content available.
Right.
Other sellers.
Yeah.
So at this time, we don't handle that.
Yeah. And could you foresee plans like that emerging?
We're not sure yet
Mhm.
for that.
Okay.
That sections.
All right.
One thing I can add, I'm off camera here. One thing I can add is, I'm not exactly sure what kind of digital content that the question is referring to, but you can use Kindle's direct publishing channel. That may be one way for this particular customer that's interested in publishing their items in Japan, to use that as a possible solution that we do offer as well.
That's great. That's Kuroda-san. Agari-san, very kindly speaking off camera there, but really helpful extra information. There's a question around a seller's profile on the Amazon website. And they're talking about a retail shop on Amazon. So I'm not exactly certain what that means, but I guess it means a kind of a sort of profile for their product that's a little bit bigger than just the individual SKU itself, and talks about their brand. How is that handled on Amazon?
Well, at this time, those retail store type of service is not available in Japan.
Right.
They can simply, upload their, items on Amazon.co.jp
Right.
and sell those products.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so other brand management, social media aspects. Again, I sound like I'm repeating myself, but I guess that would be going back to the service providers that you might work with.
Right. I mean, they might have their actually they have their own account, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they have it's called a storefront, and if the customers, access to this storefront, they can see all the products which this particular seller has been selling.
I see. Yeah.
So in that case, I think it's kind of like a storefront, but they can't really have like a fancy like some designed
Yeah.
stuff on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
also
you-
not available.
But you're saying there is a way that you could click and sort of see the whole offering
Right.
from that particular
Right.
right?
It's also available.
Right. Can we talk just a little bit about Japanese consumers? I think during the presentation we touched on it briefly about how many page impressions you have and so forth. Is there anything to note about the way Japanese consumers use e-commerce that you think might be different from other places? And anything that our watchers and listeners would like to know about, do you think?
That's a good question.
That's a mean question. I'm going to ask the guys who are off the camera as well, maybe. Give you a little bit of time.
I can maybe speak to this.
Sure.
It's many of our customers purchase through mobile devices,
Right.
and the unique factor about Japanese customers is that they're not tablets, but they're mobile phones.
Okay.
If you can imagine a Japanese person commuting by train,
Right.
using their mobile devices during their 20 minutes or 30 minutes time during the commute, they purchase a lot of items during those times using mobile devices.
Right.
So I would say having a lot of product photos of products
Right.
that they can easily understand what the product is
Right.
without reading through a really lengthy detail page
Yep.
may be really, really helpful for sellers to make their buying, or their customers to make their buying decision. I think that's a pretty unique factor for Japanese
Yep.
customers that may not be the same in other countries.
Yeah. I think yeah. Please.
I think I would add another thing that for sellers, when they list their products to Amazon, your products are available for both PC and mobile devices. So doesn't mean you don't have to create different pages, or
Yeah.
it doesn't require any coding or anything.
Right.
It's very easy.
Right.
Anything to add to those? I mean, they're really important points, I think. Anything you would like to add to that?
Well, I think they pretty much covers. I think
Yeah.
that should be good.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just say from my point of view, I mean, I think that really resonates that Japanese people tend, on average, spend quite a lot longer on trains than they do in the UK, or access to smaller mobile devices. And of course, 4G networks are available, throughout the metro system. And essentially, everybody is borrowed in their screen. So I think content that then automatically scales down to be viewable on a 4 or 5 inch, 6 inch screen seems like a smart thing to do. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I think we're gradually coming to the end of our time. I just wanted to ask a little bit more about the categories of overseas products, or anything in particular that you find is a kind of hit. Anything that sort of distinguishes a product from overseas that is likely to be successful in Japan, would you say?
Well, I would say, of course, in Japan we have many kinds of products.
Yep.
But Japanese people tend to, look for and tend to purchase
Yep.
the products which are not unique products
Right.
in Japan,
Right.
which is not really available.
Yep.
Plus, even though the product is unique,
Yeah.
however the price is expensive,
Right.
I don't think people is gonna buy it.
Right.
So unique products with competitive price.
Right.
That's a kind of product.
Sort of sweet
I think
spot.
Japanese people tend
Yeah.
to buy. I think.
Yeah. So anybody watching, I mean, could trivially, search on existing platforms to see if their products are available in the market, and if they're not, that could be an interesting start.
Right.
If they have just Japanese consumers who come into their stores in the UK and appear to be fans of it, I guess that could represent a real big opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. That's great. Well, I think we're close to. In fact, we're probably over budget in terms of time. So I'm sure you'd like me to thank on your behalf the full team of 3 people. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
sitting
Thank
in
you
the
for having
camera at the
us.
end. And these
Thank
2
you.
guys who are off camera can say a quick bye-bye and thank you as well.
Thank you, and we hope to see you on Amazon real soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Well, we as UKTO definitely recommend considering e-commerce. Obviously, it's not for every client, but I mean, we think a large swathe of the retail and consumer sector can really be helped in this way. We're going to upload all of this video content onto the website later. We're going to put some links through to your English language web pages. And then also, I understand you have a sales team who are able to deal with specific inquiries as well. So we'll make sure those details are available too. It's all going to be recorded. You can watch it later. And for anything that's out with Amazon's area, so on the tax and regulatory side, then do contact our own UKTI team, and we can try and help you with that as well. So thanks so much for listening. Watch out for more content in due course in this retail and e-commerce side, and thanks for joining us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.